Shalom. Tomorrow we are going to read Parashat Vaethanan. In that parasha it says, רק הישמר לך ושמור את נפשך מאוד, פן תשכח את הדברים אשר ראו עיניך, ופן יסורו מלבביך כל ימי חייך, והודעתם לבניך ולבני בניך. Meaning that be very careful not to forget what you saw on Har Sinai, and so you can tell them to your children and your grandchildren and how you stood on the Har Sinai and you saw the Hashem and how he gave the Torah. So here there is mitzvah to remember Ma'amad Har Sinai. Also in this parasha is famous that it has also the Aseret HaDaberot, the 10 Commandments. And in the section on Shabbat, it says, that you have to remember that you were a slave in Egypt, and that's why you are commanded to keep all these mitzvot. So I said that it would be a good idea to talk about the issue of remembrance and what to remember. Because it is an integral part of our faith. In fact, there is probably no other nation that is commanded to remember things. In our religion, we are commanded to remember 10 things per day, 10 items, and although according to the Ashkenazim, 6 things. And here they are, that we have to remember. First, Yetziat Mitzrayim, how we got out of Egypt. Shabbat, the manna, Maaseh Amalek, what Amalek did to us. Ma'amad Har Sinai, and the Egel, and the golden calf, and that we have to remember that Hashem will give us the strength to make all the accomplishments that we have. That we have to remember what Miriam did, and we have to remember Yerushalayim, and that we have to remember what Balak and Balaam did, conspired to do to us. Many of them are self-explanatory. However, I would like to make very short comments on some of them. The Egel, why do we need to remember that? It will show us that how human beings are fallible, how we are vulnerable. And that's why in Abot it says, that we don't trust yourself. Here there were only 40 days before they received the Torah, and then they did Avodah Zarah. That's what we learned from the Egel. Maaseh Miriam, how she didn't say anything when she talked about Moshe Rabbeinu, that he separated from his wife Tzipporah, that basically she didn't say really anything. She was feeling sorry for Tzipporah that she's not with her husband any longer, and still she got punished in Sarat and for 7 days. And also it is very easy that we're gonna say all in Sefer Devarim that you're gonna be wealthy and you're gonna name a team. We're gonna build the houses. It will be very easy. That my strength, my mental capability, my physical, how shrewd I am. But we have to remember that everything is from Hashem. We just said it. We said it last week in the Haftarat of Tisha B'Av. So we are people that we are commanded to remember, and and many of them they are mitzvot aseh. In fact, when the first time that in the Torah mentioned about remembering about Amalek, Ketov Zot Zikaron B'Sefer, that write it down, so no one will forget. כתוב זאת זיכרון בספר in very good details that how nations that we did not provoke, we have nothing against them, that they did attack us and that Hashem protected us. So here we can see that there is significant emphasis on remembering. In fact, many authorities, they say that maybe not Maaseh Miriam, but remember the Shabbat is Mitzvot Aseh, remember Ma'amad Azai. We have 6 Mitzvot Aseh that they are only to remember. And why it is really that important? Why the Torah ask us to remember those things? Of course, we have to remember always that Hokim u'Mishpatim, that we have to look at the mitzvot as Hokim, meaning that because Hashem wanted us to do them, we do them without asking question. However, most of the time, our human mental capability can allow us to deduce what is the reasoning for that. And we try to do that. In those that they say Zecher Lesiat Mitzrayim, especially, it is always many times it is associated with how to treat foreigners, ani ve'ager, that we have to treat them well. That we זכרת כעבד היית במצרים, לא תטה משפט גר יתום ואלמנה, and then שבעה שבועות ספור לך, מאחר וזרועות, and you will be happy with the ger, and so on, וזכרת כעבד היית במצרים. That we have to know our origin. With that, when we know where we came from, it will give us a clear path to the future. Because if we always remember how we started, we can feel for others, and that will put us on the right path. This is one thing. Also, what will keep us straight. The other thing is that in addition to all these Aser Zechirot, it is interesting that the Rosh Hashanah, we call it Yom HaZikaron, and this is Yom Ma'amad ad-Din. This is a judgment day. The human being, we have to think about what did we do in the last year and years before. And because only when we know what we did, we can work on correcting what we did do wrong, and strengthen what we did right. Each one of us does have good characters that they have to be strengthened. But it is very important to know to remember that Rosh Hashanah is called Yom HaZikaron. And not only human beings do remember, even Hashem, we ask him every day to Zochrenu b'zichron tov lefanecha, remember us with good remembrance. In Rosh Hashanah also, in Zichronot, ve'izkor Elohim et Noach, וגם שמעתי להקת בן ישראל אשר מצרים מעבידים אותם ואזכור את בריתי. We say that Hashem also does remember us. He doesn't forget. כי אין שכחה לפני כיסא כבודיך. He doesn't forget anything. However, he concentrates on some aspects that they are on hand, or that people remember him. Their prayer, I remember them. So here, when we pray to Hashem, he will give us attention, and he will answer us. Also, we remember when we have, like for example, when we build a house, we leave a spot that is unfinished to remember Yerushalayim. When in Hatan ve'Kala they say that we have to remember, in fact, in one of the Acer Zechirot, the 10 remembrance, it is to remember Yerushalayim. So here we have always, we have to look to the past, to where we came. And that is the only way that will keep us going in the same path that did work for us. We have to remember that there is no other nation on earth that was not on its homeland that survived except the Jewish people. We have to remember that. And there is also a story that one of the financial advisor to one of the king of Spain during the golden age of the Jewish history in Spain, that he worked in the court, in the royal court, and then he was smart and diligent in his work, and the king liked him, and he progressed in his work, and he became finance minister. And with finance minister, clearly it comes with good salary. And so, of course, that raised the jealousy of his colleagues, of his friends. And they told the king, there is no question he is stealing. There is how come we know where he used to live, now where he lives. He has fine clothes when he comes to the office. There is no question that he is stealing. You have to fire him. So he told them, you know what? The king knew that the guy is diligent. The economy is prospering, the kingdom is becoming wealthier and wealthier under his director. He said, you know what, let's go see his house to see maybe he's hiding something. They went and they start looking, and then they saw a room that is locked. They asked him, what's in this room? He told them, this one really, it's personal. And they look at him that this is where he's hiding the treasure. So the king asked him, you know what, you have to open it. We saw everything except you can't just keep this one under lock. And he opened it, and all that they saw was haystack, and he had some books and some very modest utensils from clay. And he told the king, your master, every day before I come to work, I spend here a few minutes contemplating on my past, on my history, what was my life, because that keeps me grounded. And then before I come to court, I feel that this is very, very important for me to know where I came from. That it was going to allow to me to look after those who still don't have, and try to feel for them. And by doing that, Hashem is making me successful. He's helping me to do whatever is good for your majesty and for your kingdom. And the king, of course, he realized that he's saying the truth. He always had this feeling, and they were very, very ashamed of themselves. And of course, he kept his job. We, the Jews, we are called Am HaNetzach, the eternal nation. As I said before a second ago, that there is no other nation. I mean, the Romans, maybe they are different people, but they, I mean, maybe they change, but they are the same people. But there is no nation on earth that was kicked out of their homeland, that they lost their language, but they remained a nation except the Jewish people. Hashem has has covenant with us that there will always be Jews, and there will always be Torah, that it will never be forgotten. And I believe this is looking to the past is the secret that we are the eternal people, that we are well grounded. We clearly, the Jewish history was not an easy history. It was full of challenges and disaster, but we are still here. This is victory. This we are Am HaNetzach, and So we today I'm doing this program on Tu B'Av. It is the happiest day of the year, along with Yom Kippur, and it is tomorrow. It is Shabbat Nahamu, and on a personal note, we got married. We are celebrating our anniversary. My wife and I. We got married on Motzai Shabbat Nahamu, so it is a special Shabbat for us. So I wish you from now on, it's all happy occasions and bsorot tovot to all of us. Shabbat Shalom.